I'm standing out in front of our 2-bedroom ocean view villa here at Marriott Maui Ocean Club in the Lahaina Villas. If you want to see what one of these 2-bedroom units look like, well, let's head inside and check it out. Before we begin to check out this beautiful villa, are you interested in visiting Marriott's Maui Ocean Club? If you're headed to the beautiful island of Maui, then be sure to take a look at Red Timeshares. They offer premier timeshare rentals, ensuring you have a fantastic villa in a premier resort destination. Click the link in the video description, the pinned comment, or scan the QR code right here on the screen to begin exploring Red Timeshares. They stand apart from other timeshare booking websites. As soon as you find a reservation you want, you can book it and pay for it instantly on their website with no additional booking or processing fees. Rest assured that you can rely on Red Timeshares to get your family the perfect accommodations in Hawaii and many other resort destinations. Thanks to Red Timeshares for sponsoring this video, and now let's begin the tour of this beautiful 2-bedroom ocean view villa at Marriott's Maui Ocean Club. Okay, so I've come into the 1-bedroom side of this 2-bedroom lock-off unit here. This is the 6101 unit. So as soon as we come inside the door here, we have a closet, and we do have in-room laundry. So this is where you're going to find in-room laundry. It looks like they either provide laundry detergent or maybe the prior guest left that behind. I'm not too sure. We actually have our own with us. We also have a sweeper over here, dustpan and broom, as well as a laundry basket. Then we're going to notice right here, we have a really big entryway. Have a little table over here. It's a neat little kind of decoration there on the wall. But lots of room in this entry. It almost seems like some wasted space here, but it's definitely a great place to throw down your beach things, your pool things, shoes, whatever it might be. Floaties, surfboard even, boogie boards. Lots of room here in the entry. Then we also have some pretty good windows right here. I'm not going to open those up, but we're going to walk in here because we have the kitchen and living room area. Yeah, so right here we have a kitchen. Pretty good sized kitchen. Looks like everything you need. You have your microwave oven, you have a stovetop, an oven, refrigerator over there, freezer. Let's look at these here. We got a kind of a full-size oven, your standard oven. It's really great. Then here we have a kind of a full-size refrigerator. Yeah, lots of room in there. You can see we've already been to Costco. And then this has the bottom freezer, which I'm not usually a big fan of. But be careful opening that because they actually pulled the entire refrigerator out. Yeah, there is an ice maker down there. It's great. It's already making ice. So room in the freezer there. Then over here we have the countertop. Decent amount of counter space, not a whole lot. Not as nice as some other units we've been in. But we do have a blender, a toaster, a coffee maker. And look at that, there's an electric kettle and some coffee supplies. Now let's take a look up here in the cupboards. This is where we're gonna find our dinnerware. Looks like for 6 people. So plates, bowls, coffee mugs, and there's a pitcher and a salad bowl, and that little itty bitty salt and pepper shaker. Now let's look over here kind of around and above the microwave, where we're gonna find glassware for 6, at least some of the glassware. Sure, there's more over here. Yep, more glasses, even some champagne glasses up at the top. Now let's look under the counters. We have in this drawer here, we have grilling utensils. Those are going to come in really handy because that hamburger that's in the refrigerator there, going to be turning some of that into hamburgers. Then down here we have some storage containers and measuring cups. Let's see if they put anything underneath the stove here. Just a broiler pan. Don't see any kind of baking sheet there. But maybe they'll surprise us and put one in here. Nope, there's a colander and what's that? Oh, a strainer. And kind of some baking or serving dishes. Over here, we have lots of cooking utensils. So just about everything you need there. Cheese grater, whisk, spoons, spatula, all that kind of stuff. Now let's take a look over here. Yep, it's our silverware cutlery for 6 people. Looks like there's a can opener, pizza wheel. There's also a vegetable peeler. And I think down in there is a corkscrew too. Under here, I'm going to hypothesize that this is where our pots and pans are. So yeah, pots and pans. I'm not seeing any kind of non-stick skillet, so keep that in mind. You might be able to ask for one at the front desk. I'm not too sure. More stuff over here, maybe? Yeah, it's just kind of our linens. We have some dish towels and washcloths, trivet, and kind of pot holders there too. And what do we have down here? Cutting board, some extra paper towels, and it looks like there's maybe a dish drying rack back there. Over here, it's our trash and some kitchen supplies. And then we also have a dishwasher, so really handy to have. You don't need to wash dishes when you're on vacation. So that was primarily the kitchen, though we do have a couple of stools here up against the bar, so definitely really handy. And we have a dining room table for 6. So technically you could kind of sit 8 in here, but this is actually a really, really big area kind of going into the living room. A lot more room here than I was initially expecting. Let's just go in here and take a look at the living area. We do have a sofa there with a chaise on the end. Some interesting little coffee tables. Those look like they maybe come apart and you can put them back together like that. We have a kind of small little chair over there. I am sure that this will pull out into a queen size sleeper sofa, and it sure does. And we'll also point out this really cool ceiling fan here in the living room. Then over here we do have a big flat screen television up above some storage, and we do have a patio out there. We'll take a look at that kind of towards the end of the video here. I do want to walk in and take a look at the master bedroom next. Yeah, so your master bedroom, you have kind of this little chair and ottoman over here, big king size bed, a couple of nightstands, and they have this exposed USB and power on this side. Those lamps there, double switched. When you turn one off, kind of the top turns off, you can turn that on, you can turn the bottom part off, or you can have them both turned on for more light, so that's really, really handy. Then down here at the foot of the bed, we do have another television up on top of a dresser or chest of drawers. Another nightstand over here. It doesn't have exposed USB and power really well. It does because there's an alarm clock over there, which has that kind of all integrated into it. We do have the bathroom there, but we'll take a look in here in the closet first. Closet here does have your in-room safe, extra bedding or bedding for that sleeper sofa. You do have an ironing board, and it's where you're going to find the full-length mirror. Now we're going to go and take a look at the master bathroom. We do have this big, huge, or fairly good size, large jetted tub. So that's definitely really, really nice. Kind of seeing more and more places get rid of these, but they still have it here, and it looks like it has a little hand shower head there too. So this might be a great place to take a bath and soak after a busy day roaming around Maui. Then across from that, we do have a single vanity with a lighted mirror. And now we're going to walk in kind of the main bathroom area. You have another mirror here, single vanity, some towels. So have all the stuff that you need here. And then in the corner, there is a walk-in shower. Okay, you have your pump, shampoo, conditioner, and body wash. Shower head here. So not really too big of a shower, but still not too bad of a size. And then of course we have the toilet here. But now we've seen that, let's walk out here. We're going to make our way over and across and into the studio side. And then we'll check out the 2 patios right at the end. Coming into the studio side of this 2-bedroom lock-off, we do have a king-size bed, a couple of nightstands again, sofa there. That will also, I'll mention, pull out into a sleeper. And then over here, we do have just a small dining room table for 2 people. So if you're just standing this side and you don't have the full 2-bedroom, well, all you have is this little seating for 2. Then down here at the foot of the bed, or well, I guess it's kind of between where the sofa is and the bed there, you do have large flat screen television up on top of a chest of drawers. Again, a couple of nightstands, exposed USB and power, all that kind of stuff. We do have a closet here. Let's see what we got in here. Just a small closet, another in-room safe. So if you're staying on this side of the unit, you do have your own safe. Some more bedding and ironing board. And I promise you there is a laundry basket down there, even though this side doesn't have its own in-room laundry. I'm also going to point out in here that we do have a ceiling fan in this studio side of the unit. And now coming out of the bedroom area, and this is actually the entryway into the studio. That's the door there. It goes out into the main hallway. We have a small kitchenette. Some people like this, some people don't. They wish they had more, like many of the Vistani units. But anyway, we do have a small kitchenette. You have a microwave oven and a small kind of bar-sized refrigerator. It does have a freezer, so you do have that option. Looks like they put an ice cube tray in there for you, and then just a small refrigerator. So nice, maybe keep some cans of soda or other beverages cold. Then let's see what we have here. We have a coffee maker, and up here looks like there's an ice bucket, a toaster. Over here we have dinnerware for 2 people. So glassware and dinnerware for 2. And there's also some silverware and cutlery there. And then just a small little tiny sink there. Those kind of promise you they're not really all that ideal for washing a whole lot of stuff because it's right up against the wall and they're really, really tiny. Experienced that at the Westin Princeville Ocean Resort Villas. The small sink there. And if you actually want to see a playlist of videos from the Westin Princeville Ocean Resort Villas, that's on the island of Kauai. I will put a link up here to that playlist. Let's see what we have down here. We have this really kind of big cupboard that opens up, and we have our trash. Then down under here we have some drawers. So we have some more grilling utensils. It looks like a couple of steak knives. Let's see what we got down here. That's our linens, dish towels, pot holders, and well, there's some extra paper towels. And we'll point this out really quick, some kitchen supplies here too. And then right across from the kitchenette, we actually have the bathroom. So let's go in here and just take a quick look. You have your toilet, and we have a bathtub with a shower. So again, kind of your standard bathtub with shower. And we have our pump, conditioner, body wash, shampoo, that kind of stuff. And then we also have just another single vanity with a mirror. So yeah, that is the inside of the unit. Now let's walk outside. We're going to take a look at the balconies. Okay, so this is going to be the balcony for the studio side. Let's see if we can get this open. There we go. I'm sure there's lots of latches and knobs and all kinds of stuff you have to flip. No, there we go. Look at that. So out here we do have a couple of chairs and a small table. And then now we're going to have our first ocean views from this ocean view 2-bedroom villa, and specifically in this case the studio side. So yeah, really nice ocean views out there. Down below, you can actually see one of the pools here for this property. So this right here is the pool that's closest to the Lahaina Tower. Plenty of chairs out there. Doesn't really look all that busy. I'll tell you though, the pool kind of over in the kind of older section, Marriott's Maui Ocean Club, which actually you can see right there. That was really busy this morning. Maybe it's not as busy right now. Yeah, we do also have a little bit of a view to the parking lot and parking garage. We'll take a little bit closer look at that when we check out the balcony on the 1-bedroom side. So let's go take a look at that next. Yeah, so to get to that balcony on the 1-bedroom side, we have to cut back through the living room and dining area of the 1-bedroom. And it is actually just over here. I actually prepared myself this time. I unlatched all of this before I even, trying to show you here. So let's just go out here and take a look. So here we are, the balcony of the 1-bedroom side. We have a pretty good sized table here, patio table, 4 chairs. There isn't any kind of ceiling fan out here. I'm actually not seeing any electrical outlets. So if you're wanting to work out here, you're not going to have that option. I didn't see them over on the studio side either. But yeah, here's our view of the parking garage. Yay! We get a great view of the parking garage and some cars parked there. But don't fear, we actually do have the ocean view that this unit promises. View out there to the Pacific Ocean. Beautiful waves today. Lots of great palm trees to look at. And again, just a view of that same pool down below. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. It really does help out these videos, helps out the channel tremendously. And if you want to see another video from here, Marriott Maui Ocean Club, I'm actually going to show you the 1-bedroom garden view unit. It's on the ground floor over in the Molokai Tower in the original section. It's actually really nice. It doesn't have all the same amenities and features that you'll find in the unit I just showed you. But if you want to see that, check it out right here coming up next. Thanks for watching, and remember, until next time, the best destination is always a timeshare.